All right, everyone. So I'm back with Thunder T2 review. Again, I have my con leche coffee. I had to migrate from con leche though because there's a bunch of people out there, and I was like, I don't really want to bother everyone talking about this. So I moved to this other place not far away. It's called Muchacho, and there's nobody here. So there's like one lady behind me. I think she's on the phone. So I think we're good. But we're gonna talk about the Thunder T2s today. I do have them on this board right here. Before I kind of get into it, I'm gonna get into some of the skating, and I do talk about the truck some like while I'm skating as well. I was having mic issues pretty much both of the sessions that I actually recorded with these. I've been skating them for, I want to say it's been like a week and a half or so, a week. I think it's been a week I've actually been skating them. So it's been more than like just 2 sessions, but I only filmed 2 of them, just 2 days. And both days I had mic issues. The first one that you're gonna watch in a second, I think it was my receiver that died. And so some of the clips don't have mic audio. They just have phone audio because I didn't realize it cut off. And then the second day, at the very beginning of it, I didn't realize that my receiver wasn't on. Sometimes they light up, especially the one to my phone, and I didn't look at the second light, and I just saw it was like lit up, and I was like, oh, it's going. I didn't test it first. Normally I do that, but anyways, rookie move. So we'll get into some of the skating right now. First day was at Pantry DIY here in Atlanta. Second day that I filmed, I went to, there was this MARTA station and in Decatur, and I skated there. There's some ledges there and stuff. There's some kind of funny clips in there from people that are around there. There's a homeless guy and all kinds of stuff. So I went there to the MARTA station, and I went to McCoy Skate Park for just a little bit after. So get into skating now, and then I'll talk about the trucks, tell you what I think. All right, so here at the Pantry DIY right now in Atlanta, we're gonna try to break these trucks in. I don't really want to tighten them or mess with them or anything like that. I'm just gonna skate them as is. This is the DIY, so we got some ledges, transition, rails, manual pad, curbs, kind of everything. So we're gonna break these trucks in, see what we can do, see how they feel, and get it popping. All right, so we're gonna see how the pop timing is first. I haven't done any grinds or anything on these, just kind of rolled around a little bit. They do feel pretty turny. So like these bushings are pretty soft. There we go. So the timing feels normal. Manual balance the balance point feels pretty good. There we go. Ooh, let's try some slappies. See how these grind. Oh, that thing is so crunchy, and it's still grinded. That thing is crunchy. Crunchy. So they grind. This curb is like super crunchy. It's like some big chunks taken out of it. You probably can't tell from this angle, but big chunks taken out of this curb. And they're still going through it, so I'm having to kind of sit back a lot. But that's not the trucks, that's this. If I was on my Ventures don't grind as good. To me, I don't think I'd be able to plow through this as easy. Let's try the slappy crook. See if I can power through it. Oh yeah, dude. Slappy crooks go on this. Let's do it on the other truck. This board is symmetrical. Dude, they grind really good. Wow. Now we'll test the pop and the grind on this. I'm not gonna wax it. It's been sitting in the sun all day, so let's see. Ooh, these grind buttery. Yep. Grind real buttery.
Try the little backside. Oh, I missed. There we go. Oh. Oh, jeez. That was a weird back 50. Try a little 5-0. See if we can get in there. Whoa, dude. Dang. That was tight. Let's test the pinch. That's what I really want to know. How does it crook? Oh. Okay, that felt good. Let's do a long one. Do most of the ledge. See how it holds. Okay. Okay, all right. That might have been on me. I didn't stand on my heel at all. Dude, dang.
Dang. Oh, he crooked it. Dang.
All right, show you guys what we're working with right now at one of the martyr stations, and I believe this is on the Decatur side of the city. So some pretty cool ledges here. The ground, I've never actually skated here, just seen it passing by and seen clips of it. The ground is kind of really bumpy for the bricks, so we'll see if we can get some clips. Let me show you what this looks like. So you got these super sick, like, kind of curved over at the ends ledges. They're not super tall either, they're pretty low. So we'll see if we can get some clips. There's 2 sets of them, but the ground is pretty rough. Oh gosh, I'm already getting kicked out. Freaking MARTA PD. Just realized my receiver was not on. That's frustrating. So, couldn't hear any of that. The base plates are sliding good though. So, that's a good thing. All right. No slide to crooked grind. Ah, dang it. Choked. You were filming, that's why. So I thought you were filming, that's why I choked. Oh, I could do that. Dang it. I gotta let it dip. Dude, these really do slide like on the base plate. Like, 'cause material like this sometimes can be kind of catchy. Dang it. That was it. Dang it. I'm starting to get used to the cracks. Very bumpy, but I'm not using the best wheels for this particular spot. Dang it. Ugh. Close. Close. Sorry. Yes, sir. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. I got this guy's running security for me. So sick. All right. There we go. If I can get like a 50, maybe a nose grind and a front crook, I'll be satisfied. Just gotta sit back a little bit when I pop. Some cracks. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought I could squeeze through. No, you're good. No. If I get to the end, dang it. There we go. Woo. Dude, I'm surprised I just got into that. That was crazy. All right, hold up. That was it. Dude, that was so good. Dang it. Oh, yes. I'll take that all day. Kickflip, celebratory. Oh, that was pretty good too. Car. Oh gosh, that was kind of bad. Oh well. Dude, come on now. There we go. Some days these are easy peasy. Gosh, dude. I am the sickest today at flip tricks. Little miniature Reynolds. No! Oh my gosh. Why? Oh, we'll take that one. F it. Ugh. There we go. Oh gosh. Alright. That one felt pretty good. Let's do back 50. What the frick? Oh my gosh, dude. There we go. Jeez. Stupid back 50s. That was crazy. That was a last second decision. So far the Kingpin hasn't been anything, to be honest with you. Oh, that's a 50, not a Smith. Wow. Oh gosh, dude. Oh, that was so bad. Frick. Run that back. There we go. Oh, we'll take it. F it.
All right, so that was some of the skating with the trucks. I have been enjoying them. They're kind of like they're interesting. It's hard to explain. These trucks, they feel like that kind of, I don't know, they feel like an in-between spot that's kind of rad. That's what I think is really cool about these trucks. I had a couple questions. One of them was, how are they gonna pinch? And the pinch on these trucks is not quite as good as the normal Thunders. And I don't necessarily think that's because of the way the hanger articulates, like it goes further. I think it's more with the height, just it being a little bit taller, and for me, taking that like split second more time for your like wheel to lock in like against your board when you pinch, because that's when I really get like stabilized, like in a crooked grind or a feeble or anything, is when my wheel really locks against my board and then it's like not moving anymore. So there was a couple times where I kind of like had to like think like, okay, I really gotta immediately sit down hard. For example, like back crooks, I really gotta sit down hard immediately against, like on my heel, like really hard, to make sure that I pinch all the way. That was the biggest difference for me. Was I was like kind of hoping that they would still pinch just as good. They still pinch really good, but it's just not quite as good as the original Thunders, in my opinion. Oh, it's a big bumblebee. So, and even Ventures, like Ventures, the ones I was riding, I believe they're still a little lower than this. I think they're like 50. I want to say they're 53 or 53.5 or something like that. Slightly lower than these. And these are sitting at 54. So like the height, I'll talk about the height in general first. It's right on the edge of like being too tall for my pop timing. Like the wheelbase is great, and I think that's what helps it. Being that the wheelbase pushes in with these trucks, I can see, you can almost hear it in some of the clips. Like I'm right on the verge of getting ghost pop for certain things. So it wasn't really causing my flip tricks to rocket, like kick flips or anything like that. But I can just tell it's like right on the edge. So they're definitely for sure skatable for me. But if you like, that's why I think they're great like in between. Because if you like the, say the height of a normal Thunder, but you want a little bit more turn, these aren't gonna mess with your timing too much, you know, with the height and everything. It's not like being 55 millimeter, I think that's where it gets like kind of wild in my opinion. But then if you skate a taller truck, it's also not gonna mess with your timing because they're just only a tiny bit lower, so you're probably still gonna be okay. But the height does like help with that turn, and then also the grind clearance on these is definitely better than the original Thunders. Like I was doing Smiths and Feebles on ledges and rails, and I really only I barely nicked like one time the kingpin nut. And that includes, I was even doing like frontside hurricanes on this really rounded over curb. And typically when I do frontside hurricanes, like slappy ones, that I'll hit that kingpin nut like a lot usually. So like if I miss or something like that, but I didn't hit it at all. That's definitely a big time win in my eyes. Like having that good clearance. So if you like curbs and stuff like that, or you're into like, you know, you like doing Smiths on ledges and stuff like that, these are going to be pretty good. The clearance on them is pretty, let's see if I can see right there. Clearance on them is honestly really good in my opinion. Someone mentioned in the last video, because I had the trucks up like this, that this yoke would like hang up on stuff. Not something I experienced at all. Even if you do board slides on curbs and stuff, if you do board slides on curbs and you push your back truck or whatever up against the curb when you do your board slides, this is gonna wear down anyways, and it's so rounded, that's not catching. It's definitely not catching on Smiths and Feebles at all. I didn't even get close to it. And because the shape of it, even if it does touch, it's just gonna glide right past whatever it is. And that includes concrete. I skated these concrete ledges, concrete curbs, not just skate park stuff. So clearance is great. I had no problem with that at all. The grind is really good. They grind great. They were grinding on rough concrete, smooth concrete. Everything was plowing through just fine. They definitely grind better than, and I think this also has to do with like me skating Ventures for a good while before this. Ventures, especially new ones, in my opinion, they just grind a little slower they're like more catchy, especially if something is really rough. You'll like really feel it kind of slowing you down. These don't feel like that. These feel like how Thunders feel, in my opinion, to where they grind really good. So no issues with that. Let's talk about, a lot of people mentioned the base plate stuff. You definitely, I'm riding 53, so these are 53 millimeter V1 X99 wheels, the bones. And you're definitely hitting, I don't know if you could tell, but you're definitely hitting base plate. Like when you're nose sliding and tail sliding, you see it on both, because this is a symmetrical deck. Definitely hitting base plate. You're not just hitting your wheels, which is nice. I know Ben DeGrow mentioned on his channel that sometimes like base plate can be bad if you're on a street ledge or something like that and it can catch on stuff. That is very true with certain trucks. These, the shape of it, I will say, like it's so slant. I don't know if you can tell, it's so slanted on the base plate, and there's just, it's almost like there's just enough base plate hitting, and it's very rounded over, so it wasn't catching at all on like rougher street ledges and stuff like that. I wasn't hanging up hitting the base plate, so it was just pretty smooth sailing in general for the base plate and all that. The other thing I did notice is I have the tendency on all the older Thunders, except for the inverted ones. For some reason, those bushings were different for me. Those bushings feel like these bushings, to where the inverted Thunders felt, and I don't know if they've changed their formula or, so I'm gonna take a sip. I don't know if they changed their formula or what, but those inverted Thunders start out like super loose, squishy, and then they stiffen up like a good bit, and then they like break in to like normal, like what they're gonna be. It goes through that like up and down flow. These are very similar, to where they start out super loose, like almost unskatable loose for me. So super loose, and then they stiffen up a lot after, it was only like 45 minutes maybe for me. That was just included curb skating and popping and all that stuff. So they stiffen up a lot, and then they kind of settle into like what they're gonna be, which is kind of like an in-between, which is really good. So these bushings are fantastic in my eyes. I think these bushings are great. They feel very similar to those very similar to those other ones. Obviously the shape will kind of makes the trucks turn a little bit, because it's a normal taper on the bottom. It's not like a standard barrel bushing or a cone, or that like kind of double taper that the original ones did. It's like a single taper design, so you get that kind of in-between feeling of between twitchy and stability. These fit in all ways, in my opinion, that in-between zone for trucks, which is pretty rad. They like found their little spot, Thunder did. I think it's pretty sick. But yeah, the bushings, they're super, I didn't crank them down either. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to crank the bushings down like right away just because you can't, you're getting squirrely. Just do some slappies, carve around, do some stuff where you're not like popping a ton right at first, so you're not going to get like wheel bite and smoke. Because if you crank them down, you're going to ruin your bushings. They'll break in after, it doesn't take long. It's like 45 minutes, maybe. So they haven't cracked on me at all. And I had the tendency with the older Thunders to crack bushings kind of pretty quickly. And that was leaving them stock like as they were. They would just crack. They haven't cracked or really frayed at all. They look just exactly the same, which is nice. These pivot cups feel awesome. Like these, I mean, I can kind of notice, I've noticed like all these little things, but I can tell the pivot cups feel better than the original. And I don't know if it's because they're clear or because it's a different formula used for the pivot cups, but they feel fantastic. And that was another thing that I had a tendency to break on the other Thunders, especially doing slappies. I'd crack like a pivot cup and it'd be all jacked up after like a day. That would like happen to me all the time when I was doing like slappies and stuff. For these, I did a ton of slappies, and the pivot cups on both sides are completely fine. So yeah, super sick. The weight of these is a little bit more than the other Thunders, but you kind of don't notice it because the wheelbase is pushed in. You don't really notice the weight. It doesn't feel like hefty when you pop, like, at all. It's very like light pop, which is nice. I'm trying to think if there's any like downsides to the truck. For me, they're not really. It's not really the things that I say weren't maybe as good as the original Thunders, like say the pinch. It wasn't really like a huge downside. It was just like, oh, they're not quite as good, but it wasn't like a bad pinch. So still pinch like good enough for sure. The height is great. They seem to be super durable so far. I've been pretty much beating them. I've been skating them every day. So usually slappies will put are hurting on bushings and pivot cups for me. I'm not like the lightest person, and even though I've been doing slappies for a long time, it's just not uncommon for me to like break bushings and do things like that. So these have been pretty spot on. I haven't really had any issues with the trucks. This is like a good truck for me to kind of have, I'd say, in my arsenal, if you'd say, like, you know, part of a quiver on a deck. They did work well with this Sandy Anderson like hydrant deck, with it being like a 14 1/4 wheelbase and having like longer nose and tail. It really helped with like even getting that light pop feeling pretty easy. So flip tricks felt great. I didn't have any problems with them, you know. I really can't say that I did. I don't know what my favorite trucks are right now. I haven't been jumping around a whole lot. Truck madness hasn't been that crazy. I've been skating ventures for like the V8s pretty much since they like came out. But I am probably gonna have a little bit of truck madness because now I'm skating these, and next I'm gonna be skating the Ace inverted trucks. So they are sending me a set of those, which is super sick. So I'm gonna be hopefully putting out some good content with the Ace inverted trucks. So I'm gonna keep skating these for right now. I don't really have a need to take them off right this second. So yeah, they've been good. If you say you wanted to try a Thunder, or say you wanted to like Thunder, there was things that you liked about it, but then you're like, I need a little bit more turn. These are it. Like, these are not just like Thunder's version of an Indy or an Ace. That's not how they feel to me. They really feel like an in-between truck, like a hybrid almost, which is pretty rad. And I think they were very purposeful in the design with the bushings and everything to kind of get to that point. If you're enjoying these truck videos or whatever else, then drop a comment. If you've tried the trucks, love them, comment. Hate them, comment. I'll be reviewing this deck soon. I really want to get a good review out on this deck. Powell obviously was nice enough to send me a few boards, and has been sending me Bones wheels and Powell wheels and everything like that. So super thankful, and I've been loving the boards. These flight decks have been absolutely amazing, and I'm honestly really surprised with this deck. I'm not gonna get into it, save that for the review, but let me know what you thought of this video, and I'll catch you guys soon. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Later.